Last time on Total Drama Random Island, campers had to build their own hot rods in the bike building challenge. The bikes were then swapped and the winners got to compete in the final round. Sam let Courtney pass him for immunity, but that was the biggest mistake he could have made as he was the only other camper to pass the finish line, meaning he was eliminated from the game as well. Only 9 campers remain. Find out who will leave next on this episode of Total Drama Random Island. The guys' alliance are all together, most of them less than happy with the result of the last 2 eliminations. Lorenzo is the first to speak up. What are we gonna do now? Noah assures him that everything is fine, but Damien is fed up, saying that everything is not fine. I was assured we could get rid of Maria, but that rat keeps getting away every elimination. Noah says to listen. He can't say much, but he has the girls where he wants them now. He's teaming up with Courtney. Damien says it's a bad idea, but Tyler says that's not true. Courtney is a valuable friend and ally to have. Damien tries to argue, saying that he doesn't feel like this will pan out the way he likes, but Noah already dismisses him by saying, the deal is finalized already, and unless you want to be the one to break the news to her that you're leaving the alliance, I'd be quiet. I don't like having to rely on her either, but it's 4 of us and 5 of them. Damien in confessional says that he really thinks this is a terrible idea, but he can't do anything right now, not with Tyler and Noah vouching for her. Priya tells the group that they should get rid of Damien next, and Maria says that she'd vote any guy out of here honestly. Courtney asks if there's any idea of what the challenge is, and Dakota says that maybe it'll be a modeling challenge. Sadie says that she'd love to compete in something like that. Chef comes over the intercom and orders all of them to go to the woods for their next challenge. Priya asks where Chris is, and Chef says that it's none of their business where Chris is. He's the host now. Their mission is to make their way out of the forest or die trying. Noah says, wow, a challenge where we need to go into the forest and find our way back to camp. Haven't done that before. There will be 3 teams of 3. First team is Priya, Lorenzo, and Sadie. Lorenzo says that ain't so bad, and Chef says, yep, you're the main liability on the team. Team 2 is Damien, Dakota, and Maria. Damien asks if they like to make him suffer, and Chef says it's one of the producer's favorite pastimes. This means the final team is Noah, Courtney, and Tyler. Tyler says this is sweet, they can't lose with an elite team like this. Chef says to listen up, everything you'll need to get back to camp is in those bags. First 2 teams to touch the totem pole back at camp win invincibility, and you should set up camp fast or else you won't even see your hand in front of your face in the dark, not without night vision goggles, which you do not have. Maria begs Chef for his help, and Chef pushes her off of him. Damien in confessional says that Maria is too stupid to be afraid of the woods. She must be planning something. Chef leaves and the team scatter to look through their belongings. Courtney tells Noah that they should just walk through the woods at night. They just need to go north back to camp. Noah reminds her that they won't even be able to see their arms at night. Tyler asks if they can tie each other together with rope so they don't get lost, and Noah says that's stupid, that doesn't help the issue of wandering in wrong directions or running into something dangerous. They continue to argue, and Tyler in confessional says that maybe this team isn't that good after all. Damien asks Maria why she begged Chef to let her go, and Maria says it was because she stole the night vision goggles from Chef. Damien is shocked, and Dakota says that she could have done that as well. Maria says sure he could have. Let's just keep walking back to camp. Dakota says that there's a problem with that. They don't have a compass. They have a map. Damien says that works too. Dakota, you read the map. You know how to, right? Dakota interrupts, annoyed that he thinks she's useless. Of course I do. What kind of idiot can't read a map? It's this way. Dakota in confessional says that stealing things isn't impressive. She will be the hero of the team and lead them to victory today. Sadie asks why they had to get higher elevation, and Priya says it's so they can get a good layout of the surroundings. They need this since they didn't get a map. Lorenzo says that's great, he could have told her what the layout was, just trees for miles. Priya asks Lorenzo if he's gotten rid of the Boney Island totem yet, and Lorenzo says nope, not yet. Sadie says wait, you still haven't gotten rid of that cursed thing? Isn't that a bit risky? Lorenzo says no way, it's fine, you're all just paranoid. Just then, Priya stops and Lorenzo bumps into her and she drops the compass off a cliff. Lorenzo in confessional says that maybe this totem is more bad luck than it's worth. At night, Tyler, Courtney, and Noah have made a campsite, and Courtney and Noah talk while Tyler is asleep. Courtney tells Noah that she's fine with getting rid of Priya as soon as possible, as long as he gets rid of Damien. Noah says that's fine with me. What's the plan with Tyler? Courtney says final 3 sounds good, drag him along for his vote, it's all he's good for after all. Tyler opens his eyes to reveal he's been awake this whole time, and in confessional he says all I'm good for? I see, she hasn't been my real friend at all. That's probably how Carrie left. She trusted Courtney all this time, and when she finally stood up to her, Courtney took it personally and made sure she left. I can't believe they were all right about her. But what can I do alone? Maria asks Dakota how much further they have left, and Dakota says that she's sure they'll reach the river soon. Damien takes the map from her and says that she's been reading it upside down this whole time. Dakota tries to apologize, but Anne-Maria says that from now on she will be quiet and not do anything, because it seems like she's only useful when she does that. Damien in confessional says that it sucks to talk bad about Dakota like this, but Anne-Maria is right. Dakota is the most useless one in the group. It's kind of our fault for letting her use the map in the first place, though. Lorenzo tells the group that he's sorry. He thought he could prove to everyone that he's worth something, whether he's cursed or not, but it looks like Courtney won. Sadie asks what he means, and Lorenzo says that Courtney gave this totem to me and I thought I could win with it to prove it's not cursed, but all that's happened is worse luck with it. Frankly, I don't even know why I'm here anymore. Priya tells him to shut up. He chose this. If he wants to prove her wrong, then he has to pick himself up and win with that totem in his possession. Sadie says that's great, but what about the compass? Priya says they don't need a compass, she knows the directions once the sun comes up. Once the sun comes up, the teams begin going on their way back to camp, and Noah asks Tyler if they can talk, and he says sure. Noah tells him that if they lose today, they need to stick together. Tyler says yeah, he'll definitely agree to that. Courtney asks if she can speak to Tyler for a moment, and Courtney tells him that they've been friends since the beginning, they need to stick together. Tyler says yeah, he agrees with that. Tyler in confessional says that he doesn't care if they lose as long as one of those two leave. Anne-Maria asks the others if they heard that before being chased into a cave by something in the woods before being chased out of the cave by something in there. Priya's team and Noah's team are in a tight foot race to get first when Lorenzo drops his totem on the ground and Tyler slips on it, causing his team to come in second. Noah says, "Good job, Tyler, look at what you did. If Damien was here, we would have lost." Courtney tells him to lay off of him, and Noah says, "Oh, this is how you're gonna play this. You were talking bad about him as well." Courtney says, "What? No way I'd ever do something like that." Tyler says, "You know what? Screw both of you. You both are made for each other." He leaves, and Courtney tries to call after him to no avail. Damien's team makes it back to camp, and Damien and Anne-Maria cheer happily since they're alive. Damien says that honestly, it wasn't the worst day spent with her. Anne-Maria agrees. Dakota says that it's probably because you two are ganging up on me all challenge. Damien says that's not true. Anne-Maria says yeah, it kind of is. Dakota says to not even get started with her. You called me useless? I'm sorry not all of us can steal night vision goggles from Chef. Courtney says, what? That's cheating. Anne-Maria asks when she has ever cared about cheating to get her way. Dakota in confessional says that I've been on edge since the producers took my phone away so I couldn't chat with Sam while we were apart. This stinks. At elimination, Chef tells him that he hopes they had a good night. He sure did. He spent the day reading through Priya's diary, eating Damien's snacks, making calls to military friends with Dakota's phone, and much more. But now, someone has to leave. All of you losers got at least one vote. The first marshmallow goes to Damien. And now you two. Dakota, you blew up at Anne-Maria and were useless in the challenge. Anne-Maria, you know what you are. The last marshmallow goes to Anne-Maria. Anne-Maria is shocked and asks Damien if he really saved her, and Damien says not to think too much about it. This was one time. Dakota says, wow, really? That's how this ends? Whatever, this just means I get to spend my time with Sam. Courtney tells Dakota she'll miss her, and Dakota says she didn't want to expose her, but she really needs to work on her acting skills more. She leaves, and Chef tells them they better get some shut-eye, no telling when he'll get another chance to make their lives worse. Tyler asks Damien and Lorenzo if they can talk, and he discusses potentially making a group to get rid of Courtney, and Lorenzo says it's about time, while Damien says that he would totally be down for that. Noah asks what's going on, and Lorenzo says that he's planning to break his totem into 4 parts so it'll be like our alliance symbol. Noah says that's stupid before leaving. Tyler asks why he did that, and Lorenzo says that Damien made a good point earlier about the Beardo elimination. Tyler asks what specifically, and Damien says that it should have been a tie if everything went well. I think Noah voted for Beardo with Courtney, and I think they're planning on using us as pawns while they sit pretty as the leaders. And that's that for Total Drama Random Island episode 17. What did you think? Question of the week: if you could have joined any of the groups of 3 in this challenge, which one would you have joined and why? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time on Total Drama Random Island.